Hi, my name is Tim Njamase. I'll be the facilitator for the course Conducting a Fair Disciplinary Hearing. This course has been designed to assist companies as well as employees to prepare effectively for a disciplinary hearing, but most importantly, for companies to ensure that they undertake and conduct fair disciplinary hearings when indeed it does take place. So this course has been aligned to Unit Standard number 255514 at UNCAF level 5 with 15 credits. There are 4 specific outcomes that this course will ensure that it does meet. Number 1 is to explain organizational policies and procedures for instituting disciplinary action. Number 2 is to investigate allegations that will have led to the charges laid against a particular accused employee. Number 3 will be to prepare for the hearing itself. Number 4 is to conduct the actual disciplinary hearing. The following are outcomes that course will also cover. Number 1, the course will teach employers how to initiate and chair the hearing. As you will know, during the hearing, there will be a presiding officer who will oversee the details of how the hearing itself is undertaken, but there will also be an initiator representing an employer who's actually filing the case against a particular accused employee. So both of those parties or those stakeholders in this particular course, they are covered in terms of being capacitated. Number 2, this course will also enable organizations to acquire skills to prepare for the hearing. It's one thing to undertake a hearing, it's something else to prepare it effectively. So to ensure that you prepare, you need to know then what is it you need to look at. But it does not also capacitate the employer, but it also capacitates the employees. Because employees normally find themselves in hot water, because only when they are charged, they get to know, only then they start to prepare for a hearing. Maybe they don't have any experience whatsoever. This course does prepare them for that eventuality. Moreover, also this course does allow them to also engage the representatives and also to learn as to what are the rights and what are the roles the representatives can play in ensuring that the preparation for the hearing as well as assistance they can get from the representatives is in line. The course itself is practical in nature, so we do give you some certain approaches which are practical to allow you as a learner in this course to test and practice some of the knowledge that you'll acquire in dealing with disciplinary hearings in the workplace. The course does focus on conducting the disciplinary hearing in line with the principles of fairness as well as equity or in equitable manner, as it is envisaged in the Labor Relations Act. We do respect the letter of the law. That's why, for all intents and purposes, we ensure that the alignment of what we teach in this case is based on what is advocated by the law. According to the structure of this course, there are 4 modules. Number 1 is where we look at the context of a disciplinary hearing. When we look at the context, we discuss a number of things in preparation to prepare the ground. For an example, what kind of cases or acts or misconducts that would result to a disciplinary hearing being instituted? Does it mean any unwarranted or unacceptable conduct will lead to a disciplinary hearing? What is it that an employer needs to be able to prepare the employees or the staff members at large to ensure that they know the rules of the organization, including the code of conduct? Who are the role players involved typically in a disciplinary hearing? What are their respective roles? Module 2, we'll look at the disciplinary hearing and its preparation. What are the steps? What are the key steps involved in preparing, both for the employer as well as for the employee, the accused? We're talking here about the appointment of certain key parties. Are we talking about the investigator being appointed? We're talking about the presiding officer being appointed on the side of the employee. We're talking about the identification of the initiator. On the side of the employee, we're talking about the appointment of representatives, understanding your rights, and being allowed sufficient time to prepare and put your facts together to prepare for the actual hearing. We'll look at some of the facts and some of the key steps that are very important as part of the preparation. Module 3, we'll look at the labor legislative framework. What are the laws that governs some of these conducts? What are the laws that governs how a hearing need to be undertaken? What are the laws that governs some of the possible sanctions after the findings have been made pertaining to the hearing that would have been undertaken. In this case, the two Basic Conditions of Employment Act as well as Labor Relations Act are two key guiding documents that we'll look at in this particular case. Module 4, when you actually conduct a hearing, what are the steps that need to be done? During the day of a hearing, after everything else has been done, the charges have been issued, the notice has been issued, the representatives have been appointed, the preparations have been done. We are now on the day of the hearing. What exactly needs to happen? Who needs to do what? Who needs to be able to attend? Who needs not to be able to attend? The kind of behavior that is acceptable and that is being seen as compliant. What about some other disturbing behaviors or unacceptable behaviors that can be demonstrated by any parties involved? What should be done? That leading to the findings, how should the chairperson or the presiding officer go through to be able to make the findings? What about the sanctions? What kind of sanctions should be considered appropriate for the kind of hearing? And what kind of record needs to be kept to ensure that every documentation that will be needed in future has been done according to the plan? So those are key 4 modules that will be covered during the course as we go along. In terms of expectation from the learners, this course is done or delivered via e-learning platform. So that means most of the time you'll be all by yourself. So we do expect you to be disciplined to go through each and every notes provided, material, case studies, as well as general information, additional notes that have been provided to you, because that will assist you to capacitate you to understand the phenomenon clearly and most appropriately. So the course is about sharing the knowledge on the aspect of how to prepare and conduct a fair disciplinary hearing. So these notes are there for you to be able to go through them. Number 2, we provided various case studies or case law where various disciplinary hearings might have taken place, where we look at various angles. In some cases, we look at the verdict. In some cases, we look at the sanction. In some cases, we look at the appeal process. In some cases, we look at how an internal case would have been dealt with by the external parties, including CCMA or labor court, because the manner in which employer-employee relationship need to be undertaken can go a long way, especially if it means there's certain disagreements that lead to disciplinary hearings and ultimately the case goes to CCMA and beyond that. So we look at various cases, and we do believe that you'll take time to go through these cases because they're going to assist you as a learner to comprehend the knowledge of how exactly a case can be interpreted by various other stakeholders beyond the internal hearing. Number 3, we do appreciate and so much that as you do spend the time in this course, you'll ask questions. Feel free to ask any sort of questions about any aspect of the course that you are going through, because we do believe that asking questions leads to better understanding and clarity on the subject matter. Now, as this course is delivered via e-learning channel, does not mean the facilitator will be available in real time, but the facilitator will be able to pick up some of your questions and he will be able to engage with you accordingly. Number 2, you can also ask questions amongst the colleagues and or fellow learners who are also registered for this course. You'll see on the right-hand side of the course menu where there is a list of people who are part of this course. So feel free to engage them, because this course does promote and encourage social learning. So it's not a sin in this case, or it's not wrong to ask questions from your fellow colleagues and from your fellow learners who are also enrolled on the same course. Number 4, at the end of each module, there are certain questions that have been prepared for you. These are prepared for you to test your knowledge of what you would have already gone through in each and every one of the modules. So please take time and make an attempt to answer all of those questions. Feel free to go back and revise certain content and then make a proper attempt. You can answer these questions as many times as you want to. So it helps you to strengthen the knowledge of understanding some of the key phenomena of this particular course. In closing, in this section, we hope first and foremost you're going to enjoy the course. Secondly, we hope you're going to be disciplined enough to make sure that you finish all the notes and make all the necessary assessment requirements that have been presented here as part of the self-test. Should you get stuck at any given point in time, feel free to engage me as a facilitator. Feel free to engage your fellow colleagues. And we hope you're going to enjoy this learning journey. Thank you very much, and see you in the following chapters.